Yo, what is up? Hated here. We are doing a track breakdown of Deadweight. Yeah, came out today, February 28th. Little preview. Let's get into it. Alright. Okay, so the drums. The drums are real simple. Here. It's literally a kick, a snare, and hi-hat. Yeah, so this is the drums right here. Real simple, real crunchy, like snare clap. Jump into the processing. Pick, be a transient shaper, shaped like that. And EQ, just cut out a little bit of that mid-low. That is sitting right around 148, so almost into sub-frequencies. And then that's just being sent straight to the master, which we'll get back into. Snare, a little more going on. We have an OTT, 18%, 72 depth, time all the way up. Wave shaper, just cranked it up, get some saturation. Again, OTT, downward brought to 27. Time moved up to 731. And then we got two transient shapers. This one's going to hit first, and then do more attack and more sustain on the second one. Beats turned up on the first one, fall on the second one. Other than that, quick little low pass there, 16K. Again, just routed into the master. And hi-hat is just two transient shapers, very similar to the snare. Main difference being like the speed's not turned up and just not aggressive sustain the second time around for the hi-hat. And again, routed straight to the master. All three of these are clipping. Gonna be the drums there. Alright, so from there we're gonna get into the sub bass. The sub bass is going to be a serum patch, basic shapes, sine wave. Low pass, just boosting the drive on that. This is the shape of the LFO that's controlling the level and only the level. Other than that, we have distortion, tape saturator mode, makes like 75. We have a compressor, not multi-band. We turn the release all the way up. We turned the gain up. I believe maybe the ratio. Honestly, I don't know. This might be default for these three. And then other than that, just another low pass. MG low 6. Cutoff turned to 79, and other than that, default. And that is going to be routed to channel 5, which right here have no stereo separation. It's going to be completely merged. But yeah, going into the effects list, similar to the snare, we have that wave shaper just cranked up a little, not quite as much though. Decapitator. This is going to have punish on. End mode, have it turned to all the way dark. Low cut. About almost all the way to 1K. Drives all the way up. Barely on. It's on like 5%. Other than that, OTT outputs turned way down. Downward is completely off. Depth of 76, time up to 581. From there, soft clipper, and then EQ. Only letting that low through, and this is getting routed to my sidechain, which is going to be a free balance. We'll get into later. All right. Last thing on the snare is the MIDI. Gonna be just root note all the way across. Quarter notes. Easy. That's that. All right. From there, we are gonna get into the main bass. Now this thing actually has some interesting thing going on. Because the melody really is coming from feedback from OTT, which we'll see later on. But yeah, so it's gonna be Reason, Maelstrom. Got sine waves. It's real simple. Saturated sine wave into a tone. Default waveform, rate at an eighth note, volume all the way up, 2 adjustment to the filter. We got a double screen 4. First one is default settings. I might have adjusted these, turned the cutoff off, and I think other than that, it's default. I turned the master down. And then we have another one, which is going to be lighter damage control. It's going to be taped mode. Compression's all the way off. We have the speed turned almost all the way up. The cut off, as you can see, we move that middle one up a little. And then, yeah, turn the resolution up. I turn the resonance up and the scale down. Other than that, I think that's default master. Vocoder, equalizer mode, turn that down to 8-band. Didn't touch any of this. Chorus flanger, delay at 80, feedback at -22, rate at bar, set to sync obviously, and then modulation 18, and then the reverb plate is the default plate. Decay turned all the way down. EQ is enabled. Our EQ that really didn't need that. And then yeah, I think the rest of that's default. Drywood's obviously all the way down. And then yeah, going into post processing, this thing is gotten the most work out of everything in the song. So this is gonna probably be the bulk of it right here. Starting out, we sent this to Serum. Hyper, distortion, compression, filter, and you can hear the OTT, like I said, is what's really bringing out that you can hear the feedback, but it's quiet without this. If you look at the MIDI, it's you can hear the feedback playing the notes between. So yeah, that's where this is really coming in. We got the compressor here is doing that work, man. Like really pulls it forward. But yeah, anyways, back into it. Hyper mix all the way down. Size 2%, 25 on the mix. Sine shaper on the distortion, drive 19, mix 30, 31. Compression, turn the threshold up, ratios default, attacks default, release all the way up. Gain 12.4, full mix. Filter, it's going to be a flanger high-low, negative. Frequency is sitting at 7. We got 70%. I'm about to do it again. 70% resonance. Drive is at 0. Wild is all the way up, and that's at 63%. From there, we are getting routed to wave shaper again, just slight saturation. EQ to boost the OTT. Got 2 OTTs back to back. First one is going to be time all the way up, downward to 57. Second OTT is going to be depth 61%, time almost all the way up, downward to 41. Just kind of feeling it out. Now we're boosting the highs. From there we're going to do this is going to be kind of back to the default settings, pretty much getting rid of the highs we just did. Right behind them. Yeah, whatever. Standard clip, default, turn the sound clip up, so it's just getting a little bit more saturation, similar to this. Another wave shaper, just boosting a little bit more. And from there, we're going to route into 14, and this is filter for the intro riser, where this is sweep up, and then we just have another OTT, depth 22, 10%. Downward, just getting the loudness, and that's going to route to the bass, which we go over that bus in a second. Okay, so starting with those background elements, first one is going to be the Serum patch here. And what we got going on here is sine wave down to the sub frequency. We have a FFT add 2, add seconds, up an octave, and then that's going to be PWM. Wavetable is about 130. The level of overall sound is going to be the shape, as well as the cutoff for this low, as well as this cutoff on the EQ down here. But going into the FX, have again, just low resonance 18, drive up a little, fat all the way down. FX though, again, hyper all the way off, room 2, or size 2, mix of 31. Distortion, 74%, 22, another again tape saturator mode. Compressor, default threshold, default ratio, default attack, default release, just boost gain 9.7. Again, the EQ here is going to be, I think it's just this first one, which is going to, or the second one, it's just going to be a low pass sweep thing. Chorus, ooh, I just messed up, whatever. Alright, yeah, I think it was on default. But yeah, from there, you're gonna patch into here. Give me OTT depth up, downward, 26, depth to 65, or I guess depth turned down. EQ, high pass. Reason rack, we have a phaser and a chorus. Pretty much made all of these relatively similar. 54, 62, set to sync again. Eighth note, 9, back 53. Chorus, 78% delay, or 78 milliseconds? No, I don't really know. Delay set to 78 though. Feedback negative 32. Rate is going to be a half. And modulation amount is 10. And then yeah, from there. Sorry. All right. Yeah. Other than that, that reason patch, which is 68% mix level. Vocodex here. Turned all the way to like the deeper dark. I guess it's masculine side of things. Um, Then yeah, bandwidth 188%, so they're all kind of overlapping. Bands are sent down to 8 mode. Other than that, it's all default, I believe. Pretty delay, got 2 to 0 ratio there. Yeah, I think other than that, pretty much default. Besides the tone is turned down. Filter, which is going to be again sweeping for the intro, and then from there we have a reverb, which is mix all the way down again, sweeping for the intro. I think this one's a preset. Oh, might just be default. Yeah. So that's our first background element. Okay, our next background element. I think this actually started out as going to be like one of the main bases. Yeah, it's a square 4. Um, kind of standard setup, no shaper. Index is at 26, home negative, frequency at 16, resonance at 24. It's set to curve 20. Eighth triplets, sync one shot. All my other reason ones were like that too. I pretty much always do that for at least mod B. Later. Volumes all the way up, filters down a little. This guy is going to be on curve 12. Regular eighth note, turning the index up 45. That is going into pretty much the same Scream 4 we saw earlier. Tape, compression's all the way down, speed's not quite as high. Damage control's turned down a little. Other than that, scales boosted, or scales pulled back, resonance turned up. From there, again, equalizer on the vocoder, brought down 8 bands, didn't touch anything here. That is going to go into channel 10, this guy here, which is going straight into our bass, bass bus. All right. Our next like kind of background element is going to be another square 4 patch. It's going to sound like this. In context with the last one. Yeah, this one, as you can tell, is like real scratchy, like, I don't know, it's an unpleasant sound. But yeah, just default square 4, again, octaves turned down to that sub-frequency range. Comb negative again, this was at like 19 or something, 18. 18 sounds right. 58 resonance. Filters again being pulled down to 12, max volume, curve 20, one shot, 3/16 on the rate. Then this guy is not one shot sync, rate at half notes, index is going up, so that way, I guess the way I ended up playing it, you're not really going to hear that, but it's so every other quarter note would be different. But we're in Arlie's, and then this is Again, very standard for the Scream 4 unit here. We got the tape, beat all the way up, compression all the way down, default on this guy as well. And then that guy going to be right here, OTT, no downward, 307 on the time, to cut the lows, serum FX, we're going to just give it, again, that 2% room, 3% on this guy, it looks like, distortion, downsample mode, that's where that fuzziness is coming from, the real harsh frequencies. Got the mix turned down on that, and other than that, yeah, it'll plate, case higher than the last one, decays, or dry wet's almost all the way down. Again, the touch that same, just cutting the lows. That again is going to the bass bus. And that brings us to our last background element. Okay, I don't know if it's the last one, but our next one, it's going to be just GMS. And this actually is going to be a normal patch. It's Cosmic Shawns. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's the one it is. And I don't think we adjusted. I think it's like literally that preset. That's getting routed to 11. Yeah, flip the MIDI. So yeah, MIDI is gonna look like again. He's gonna be the root there, and then it just has one down. That fifth. And it's on A sharp. I think that's a fifth. Not the best with music theory, so don't quote me. But yeah, GMS. Again, going to the bass. All we did was use the EQ unit, cut the lows, boost the mids. That's that. Okay, and now we're on our last like FX during the song, and that's gonna be the like a riser that happens every 16 bars. Serum patch. It sounds like this. You're not really gonna hear much till the end. Yeah, some flangy delayed white noise. AC hum gonna be the main oscillator here. Level is gonna get boosted by that. Other than that, yeah, flanger. Don't know what all we adjusted. I think that looks pretty default besides the mix. Chorus. I mean, these are the thing. I'm not sure what I adjusted. I know the mix down. I don't think the late. Yeah, I really don't know what I did there. EQ. Again, just a little bit of a low pass there. Very slight, 7,000. 37%. Play at a quarter note. I think this low key might be called delay. That's going into number 9, which more flanger, and this is on a preset. Oh yeah, default just boosted the all the way up on that. Mix is just under half, 44%. Bit Crusher, 3,780 kilohertz. Default settings on everything else. That's running at 31%. OTT just pulled it down to downward compression to 38%. This little EQ here, and that's going straight into the sidechain. All right, yeah. So for the intro elements, starting out, it's gonna have that same GMS patch carrying. The only difference to the MIDI being that the first note is going down here on the first beat, 3, 4 octaves down, 6 octaves down, 6 octaves. Yeah, 6 octaves down. Damn. And yeah. Yeah, that's that same GMS, and then most of the intro sounds are gonna be some presets, very little adjustment, but we'll run through them quickly. Morphine patch here. This is gonna be the additive. Well, I think this might even be the like default preset that comes loaded up with nothing going on. Morphine number 2 is going to be the good old Juno. Very light. And again, nothing on it. Then we got morphine number 3 here. more of a pad. I think it's again that same default additive as well, different octave. Don't know why. We got this bottleneck here. Patch? No. Kepler exo patch bottleneck. And as you can tell, that's like real background. Real background. Yes, it's on the second, and then a root node. Halfway through the second bar. A little interesting placing, whatever. And then again, nothing going on there. From there, we're gonna have some reasons, which even these are gonna be some like set patches. We got this one here. MIDI for that. Just bouncing between octaves on the first and fourth beat. This is going to be a Star Screaming from Europa. Again, nothing on. Down to this next one. Probably gonna be some. Yeah, gonna be Euro Piano, Europa, and MIDI is going to be it. Both sharp of the key. And yeah, it just repeats that every bar. It's on the 2 and the 3. Yeah, so that's that. Other than that, we just have the FX left, which we can kind of just go over. Again, these are going to be those filters from earlier that are going to sweep in. There's that reverb coming in on. What's that coming in on? Coming in somewhere. There's all one of the tracks we looked at earlier. But anyways, yeah, we got flanges just going on. What is that? I want to say it's on. Yeah, it's coming in on the intro. So that as the bass is coming in, the intro is getting like flangered and endless smile. Oh, yeah, we got again flanges on the intro. We have the speed going up as well as the mix. And just down here, on the intro, endless smile coming down and filters pulling everything out. I guess we can just look at that reverb. It's gonna be on Serum 3. But yeah, other than that, you know, like sidechain and all of that. Couple more automation things. I just have the the semitone on the reason rack changing. It's gonna be on the main bass though. For mellow. We just have that happening like pretty much just flipping back and forth. Other than that, the second drop, the big difference is going to be this. I'm going to pull the frequency on the main microphone a lot higher. To give you that. And then yeah, other than that, we just have like the final kind of routing. So the bass bus, which is where most of the sound is getting processed through, besides everything besides like the drums and the really. Here, which is going to have all the lows cut out. It's going to be a Pro L2, massive amounts. We have the attack pulled up, release all the way down, no look ahead, transparent mode. Probably a dangerous amount of whatever. Wave shaper, slight saturation after the limiter, because you know, 39%. OTT 24% times 704, 10% depth. Soft clipper, we're really smashing shit here. OTT again, depth almost all the way down, no downward compression. Smooth here to smooth it all out. Soft clipper turned up on the post. Then we got 2 more OTTs. First OTT here is going downward 33%, depth 17. Second one 33%, depth 14. That's going to get routed to here, which is just going to be the endless smile for the intro, and then we're going to cut do a little sharp cut on the highs so the hi-hat comes through, makes the drum sound better. And from there, that side chain is just gonna have a fruity balance, which is automated over all the kick and snares. Right there. And then our master chain, we have Pro Q3 linear mode, 126 hertz, 48 dB octave. Call it fruity soft clipper. That's it. Nice. That's it. Thanks for watching.